This is Glovegossip, and I'm here with pro boxer Macaulay McGowan. Thanks for having me down, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, mate. So what age did you start boxing?
Started boxing when I was 8 years old. Went down to Jimmy Egan's, not far from there, about a mile away.
Yeah, I know
And
Jimmy Egan's well.
yeah, and yeah, just took to it first day. That was it. I was bitten by the bug, but I was bitten by the bug. But then at the same time, I was a bit like a few years down the line or a year down the line. I thought, nah, I'm not gonna do this forever, man. Training hard all the time, having to watch what I eat, and like, I weren't allowed fizzy drinks and that. Well, I told myself I wasn't, so I wouldn't have fizzy drinks. But then, I don't know, I just kept sticking at it and sticking at it.
Sticking at it.
Yeah.
So what really motivated you to stick at it? What was the motivation behind you to do the boxing?
You know what? Yeah, no one's ever asked me that
not
before.
to not eat what you wanted and to not drink fizzy drinks.
I don't know yet. Like since I've been young, I just thought I'm gonna prove it to myself that I can do this.
Yeah.
It was just pure stubbornness. Like the reason why I was attracted to boxing because in sports I weren't that good. I weren't good at I weren't strong in say sports day in year 2, year 3, whatever it was. I weren't good at throwing stuff. I weren't good at running, and I thought, all right, if I practice, but if my mate who's faster than me now practiced as well, he's always going to be faster than me. Whereas something about boxing, there was like a strategic thing to it, but you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to be the biggest, but you could somehow maneuver yourself to win over the duration of whatever. And I don't know, I think that just attracted me to it, and I don't know, I like fighting a bit as well.
So you started in Jimmy Egan's, and then where did you progress from there?
I went from Jimmy Egan's till I was 18, and then I went to Anthony Farnell's. I started my pro career at Anthony Farnell's in Failsworth.
That where you started your pro career, yeah?
I thought Kofi Yates went there, so I followed Kofi.
So how many fights did you have under him?
I had 13, 1, 13.
You had 13, 1, 13, yeah? And then is that when you started your career with Joe?
No, so then after that, I had 2 years out. Yeah, I didn't box for 2 years. But I was always in and around the gym and doing whatever, and whatever I was doing, I was
ticking over.
Yeah, it's ticking over, but I was being a bit of a dick out of the gym as well. So then
being your average women show.
yeah, a bit too much. And then I got myself back on track, and I went to a place in Middleton called The Shed with Ben Lancaster. And then I had a couple of fights under him. And then lockdown come, and then I moved again.
Lockdown.
Yeah, and then
was old, didn't it?
yeah, and then I moved again.
So in lockdown, you were still ticking over, yeah?
Well, in lockdown, I got in really good shape, started running all these mad runs and all that, and then that's when I had my first couple of losses. Actually, I took a few hard fights and I lost.
So that's when you started taking your losses.
Yeah, so I had me.
So did you take your losses and then you started training with Joe to?
Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. So then, I had I think I had 15, 1, 14 or something drawn one, something like that, and then I took a fight, got beat. Took another fight a couple of weeks later, got beat again, and then that brought us into 2021, and that's when I started training with Joe.
Right, big change that one, changing training with Joe.
Fucking hell, tell you that. Oh, it was mental. Yeah, I remember it was crazy.
He's a good trainer, isn't he?
The best.
Yeah, so with your training with Joe, and obviously he's just been diagnosed
and
everything, and that, I was just wondering, because obviously he's like a father figure to you, really, isn't he? You've been trained. How long has he trained you now?
Well, so I went with Joe in 2021, so it's coming up to 4 years, but I always knew him then anyway. He boxed with my dad, and just a Wimshire lad, so I just think we hit it off straight away. He reminded me of me first ever coach Jimmy Egan, his approach and stuff, so don't always like a familiarity when I went to him, so straight away just hit it off, and I don't know, I got more of a role in the gym. I weren't just a fighter. Started becoming a coach himself, working side by side and stuff, and I don't know, I would say he's a very special person to us. So him being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer was a bit of a shock. Yeah,
it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. But the way Joe, even though he's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, people normally become a victim. Whereas
he's a strong character.
He hasn't become a victim. He's still the leader. So watching, he's still he's the leader of the gym. He's a leader by nature. So the way he's being is, we're just all cracking on, because even though he's the one going through it, he's the one still setting the example. No, I'm cracking on. I'm doing this. So you can't be pussyfooting around. But you okay, mate? Just got to crack on.
Yeah, I watched your two fights back last night, and I seen the way he was with you in your corner, and everything he was saying to you, and everything he was saying to you was bang on. Like, you couldn't ask for a better trainer in your corner. I couldn't think. Anyway, he was saying exactly the right things at the right time to you, and it was unbelievable to watch. Really, like the connection that you had between each other.
Yeah, I feel like I know what he's going to say as I sit down, like by his facial expression or the way he brushes his hair back. But
and credit to you, you actually listened as well. That's
no, I do. I
You
try and
listen
listen. Yeah, the only person I listen to, speak to my wife, but the hell is the only person I do listen to. I think that's why I've had such a good career since he's took over with it. But yeah, I don't know. He's like the best trainer Britain's probably ever had. He's the only British-born Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year in 2015, and no one from Britain has ever won that Ring Magazine since.
I've seen that.
So, I'm not listening to him, then I might as well give it up.
Yeah, and I seen that you was in Natasha Jonas's corner for her fight.
Yeah.
Talk me about that. Tell me about that.
So I've been
Talk me through that.
So I've been in Natasha Jonas's corner a few times now. Which was the first one? Yeah, the first one was Macaulay McGowan, and that was a big fight.
Yeah, she's done amazing things for women's boxing, hasn't she?
Yeah, unbelievable. She was the first ever British Olympian, female Olympian, and yeah, now she's two-time world champion, two weights. But what she created there the other day at Royal Albert Hall, an all-women's event, the atmosphere, the crowd, it was like, I know the result didn't go her way, but what she's created for women's boxing, I'm like, wow, she did that. And then no disrespect to Lauren didn't. Like, obviously Lauren played her part, she was a great dance partner for Tasha, obviously she beat her, but in terms of what was created, it was all Tasha. Tasha created that.
Do you think that she will return to boxing after that fight, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I do as well. I seen the post she put out last night, and
me personally, I just think, just call it a day. Like, you're 40, you're 41 this year. You've done everything. Like, no one thinks bad of you for losing to Lauren Price. But I think the stubbornness,
I think what it is with boxers nowadays, once they have one loss, they think it's the end of the world. But I think with all this, with Turkey, Al Sheikh, and everything else, I think that you can afford a few losses now in boxing and just take it on the chin.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a career at the end of it and like go, well, it was an honest career. I didn't really duck anyone. The fights that were presented me to, I took, and that was it. I'd rather like have that self-fulfillment than, I don't know, knowing that I shit at my whole career.
Yeah. So what are you thinking down the lines now? Are you gonna return or?
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, obviously I'm just helping out in the gym at the moment. I mean, Joe will just crack on whether I was helping or not, but I do enjoy the coaching role side of things. But yeah, just obviously I put a bit of weight on, so I'm just.
That's what I mean. You've got a lot of things going on outside the world of boxing now. You've got your PT gym here.
Yeah. It's all right.
You're obviously in training a lot of other boxers, and you're doing a lot with Joe.
Yeah.
So you thinking about coming back then? Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. Listen, as much as I like to coach the fighters, I like training. I've got a lad in an unlicensed fight tomorrow, and I've got a girl in unlicensed fights, and honestly, the buzz is great because someone I've trained and I know how much it means to. And you see someone train, you're like, wow. But being a coach, well, it makes me a better fighter because the stuff I'm telling these people to do is not necessarily stuff I do. So I'm like, well, I better start doing it. Like, keep my composure, keep my shape, actually box a bit more. So I think like I'm better for it. But like I say, the buzz that I get from fighting will never be replaced. So I'm not ready to give that up yet. No
So
way.
you're ready to come back, yeah?
Yeah,
you're gonna come back.
I never went anywhere. It's just that I had that fight and I just took. I remember it was a hard 2 years, like 10, 12 rounders.
Yeah, tell us about your 2 years that you've just had. Tell us about that.
So yeah, I was dead heavy, and then what is it now? What happened? Yeah, I was dead heavy. Like January 2023, I boxed that cruiserweight against Darryl Sharp. And then Joe, I was at work, labouring, and then Joe said, fight there in Paris on the Sky Sports show. So I was like, yeah, sweet. He said, that's super middleweight. So I was like, that's what it is. and then I got a draw.
You got robbed on that
yeah,
one.
Yeah, and then on the back of that,
robbed on that one.
I got on the back of that. I got the Tyler Denny fight, which was controversial as well.
Yeah, I thought you won that one. I watched it back last night, and I thought you had a right good goal, man.
Yeah.
I thought you won it. To be fair, I thought, well, it could have went both ways.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people thought that, and I just took it on the chin. Come back with 2 stoppages, and then I just stayed in the gym. But while this is going on, I'm also like opening the gym, because when Joe had the Saudi job, I was opening the gym. I was just non-stop in the gym. I started coaching fighters then before I actually got my badge, or like taking the sessions in the gym. So I never really had a day off, and then I was fighting again. And then it just all come to a head with the 12 rounds for the European, because that's really my level, really. The European title. Yeah. That was my level as fighting a WBA #1, a world rank contender at European level. Like, I'm not going to get much bigger than that. So it's like, that was like capping off of a 2-year gap, 2-year, like massive 2 years. And then it's like, right, reset. And then we go again.
So you've had a bit of a roller coaster 2 years, really, haven't you, mate?
Yeah.
So you're just having time out and then taking your time, and then you're ready to come back.
Yeah, not so much time out, just so much like, I don't know, I've got this started.
Just taking over, just doing what you're doing, taking time out.
For the mental pressure.
Outside boxing.
Yeah, like the mental pressure sometimes can get to you just non-stop, but I've still got that because I'm in and around the gym. I'm doing the corners, I'm here, there, and everywhere. I'm busier than ever, to be honest, but just the mental pressure of not having to have them fights, I don't know, and like give me brain a rest. Take some shots, mate.
Right, well, I think that's it, and we'll call it a day.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Thanks for having me down, mate.
No, not my pleasure. Great to see you.